Bimal, as I had mentioned, you are also somebody who has seen India in the world from a number of perspectives, having been on the staff of the international organizations, having been an executive director, having been obviously governor RBI. Two issues about the interaction or the relationship between India and the rest of the world. One economic and one political, if I may. On the economic side, you are very forthright here in maintaining that engagement with the rest of the world has been very helpful for India. India has succeeded. And yet, I have to say that in the public discourse, in the actions recently of government, there is a questioning of that. There's a questioning of whether India gains by engaging with the rest of the world. There's a belief, including your successor Nandan Nilekani, that look, we're a big enough domestic economy that we don't need the vulnerability that comes from deeper engagement. There's always the fear of China. There's a belief that China is this dragon which is out there to snap us up. So how is it that one should persuade public opinion that global engagement is good for India?
No, but there is nothing, on all that you have said, there is no contradiction with the global involvement. I mean, we used to have, India had the highest tariffs, the highest import control, in the 60s, 70s, 80s. The rate of growth was 2 to 3%. Employment was very small. And your growth rate was low. Inflation was high. So, but globalization is a good thing to do. Compete world economy worldwide.
You and I agree, but is that as it were any longer the intellectual fashion?
No, but you see, the world is changing again. Every 30, 40 years the world changes. Now today you have restrictions in the US, restrictions in Europe, European Union, restrictions in Brexit, for example, and so therefore the world has changed. China is also different now than it was, say, 10 years ago, 20 years ago. So what I'm saying essentially is that the world changes, but globalization has shown its strength.
For India.
For India.
Mm-hmm. Now on the political side, in a slightly different way, democracy everywhere, Bimal, is under stress. It's under stress in Britain. It's under stress in the United States. It's under stress in Europe, maybe less so in Japan. And I don't know whether there are structural reasons for that, whether widening inequality, whether the rise of social media. I'm just wondering whether the agenda you have for political reform in your book, whether that takes into account the fact that the stress that India is under is part of a wider trend.
No, in the sense, there is a wider trend. I mean, in the sense that India is a part of a wider trend as a globalized economy, of that there is no doubt. And that we are affected by what's happening in the rest of the world, yes, both in terms of demand as well as supply. But the more important issue is that our dependence on the world economy, or in terms of the flow of resources, is much less than that of China, for example, or any other large country. So India today has the ability, and I think that I'm not just so because we are Indians and so on, but we have the ability to get done what we want to do.
Mm-hmm.
But then, if the world is going in a different direction, if America is imposing tariffs on Indian goods, India can't say that that's fine. It's globalization.